Marching Arts Education and Guard Closet present Marching Arts Now.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Hinton, the beast of the marching arts. Welcome to Marching Arts Now live. I hope that you're watching us wherever you're watching. Please comment and let us know where you're here. I'm here with Paul Simondac. Paul, how are you?
Hey everyone, hi Tim. Paul here, Paul Script on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We have such a fun show today. We have two special guests, and I'm going to bring them in just to say hello. The wonderful Michael James. There you are, Michael James. How are you?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Michael, of course, you've been flying all around the world, the country, in the snow and the ice, designing shows. So we're going to talk to him, everybody. Also here with us is Cindy Berry. Cindy, say hi.
Hey, thanks for letting me join in with you professionals today.
Cindy is a super fan. We all know her as LeanderMomma. So we're going to talk to her about shows as well. But first, I'm going to make them go away. Paul, we're going to start with you because are you back at Pegasus? Did that happen?
Yes. I finally did spend a little bit on Sunday, so I'm recovering, and I'll be at the show this weekend at Freedom High School.
So tell us what it was like to be back on in case you weren't watching, you don't know everybody. Paul, you tell everybody the story.
So I actually I got my appendix removed because of complications that happened a week before premiere here in Central Florida, and I had to recover for a month. But now it's been a month, I can start getting back to spinning and moving my body again and using my abs. So yeah, it was a little bit interesting trying to get back in. Trying to jump into a world-class show when you haven't done it after a month is a little bit tough, but thankfully my technique and my performance qualities are still there. It's just a matter of getting all the changes and just getting back there on the floor. So it's pretty good.
Fantastic. So glad that you're here. It's going to be so much fun to be able to see you back on the floor this year. And so anyway, that's exciting. Everybody, the season is happening. If you are watching right now, please say hello and comment and let us know where you're watching from and see if you have any questions for these wonderful people that are here. And we also, if you have a story from your group, or if you are going to be at a show and you want to be a commentator, let us know. Contact Jeremy Williams at Guard Closet, or you can contact us all on Instagram and let us know that you want to be a part of that. Okay, so now I'm going to bring back on the wonderful Michael James. Michael James, you are back live with us. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long couple months of teaching and traveling, but I'm not complaining. After 2020 and 2021, I'm not complaining, but come the end of the Winter Guard season, I'm going to take a good long week, probably only a week, but take a break.
You're like one of the hardest working men in the world of Winter Guard. So you've been traveling. I want to tell everybody, in case they don't know who you are, I can't imagine anybody doesn't know who Michael James is, but in case they don't know, tell everybody what you do in the world, and then tell us about how it's been this winter.
I'm Michael James. I teach a couple of area high schools, Oviedo High School, Sun Lake High School over in the Tampa Bay area. I also teach the University of South Florida in Tampa. Yeah, I've been staying busy. I took on like a couple new programs this year, Purdue University in Indiana, and also took on Windermere High School here in the Orlando area. It's been really busy. So like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm blessed and a little tired, but that's okay. I just came back home last night from a long day of design meeting with the Phantom Regiment. And it was good. It was fun.
Okay, everybody. So he just casually mentions that he's at the Phantom Regiment design meeting, and then he's flying. And you were in somewhere really cold, like you were complaining about the ice and snow. Was it Michigan?
Michigan or Indiana. The last time I was at Purdue, the high was maybe 18. It was beautiful, but it's not somewhere I would want to live. I mean, I'm not. Indiana folks, you know me. I enjoy looking at your snow from afar. Yeah, it was really cold. So,
well, those of you that are watching, you may not know this, but myself, Paul, and Michael all happen to be in Orlando, Florida right now because we all happen to live there. That just sort of happened. So we're enjoying some nice weather, but we're not going to talk about that for all of you that are in the cold weather. When Cindy comes on in a minute, we will talk to her about the weather where she is in. Well, no, we won't. Nobody wants to hear that. We'll be talking about Winter Guards. Now, Michael, you and Paul, there's a connection here. Paul, do you want to tell us about that?
Well, Michael actually brought me back in 2010. He designed for my winter guard at East River High School, and then I also marched with Timber Creek High School back in 2012. And that's actually it. But thankfully, even though those were short seasons, I attribute a lot of my dance qualities to his dance base. And so I think having him as a dance instructor really made me a lot better going into Carolina Crown and the current season with Pegasus.
Thank you.
Okay, well, all right. I thought there might be more of a kumbaya moment, but that's okay.
I've seen Paul grow up into an amazing performer. But he kind of already had that skill set as a performer, because he ended up being at Timber Creek because I forgot what, I don't know. I don't remember if East River's guard was just, let's be honest, he was too good to be in a younger color guard. So somehow we worked it out with the band directors, and they agreed to let him come march that was Timber Creek's first year in world class. And yeah, it was good.
All right. And the rest is history.
Yep.
So Michael, we have a clip from Reed's Puffer. So do you want to set this up and tell us a little bit about that show?
Honestly, I have not seen this clip, but is it from the regional?
I think it was from not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So
yeah, it's from their regional. He was supposed to send me a link to give notes, and I haven't seen it yet. They're doing a song by Benjamin Clementine. God, this escapes me. It'll come to me. Everyone knows it. Because the song itself got really popular like 3 or 4 years ago by this dance company. You can call it a dance company, like this dance group on YouTube, and it blew up. But I already been a Benjamin Clementine fan because I used him in 2018 with McNeil. That was Winston Churchill's Boy. This song, I Won't Complain. It's called I Won't Complain. And it's the only reason they're an independent A, they're a high school guard, but they're independent A, but the only reason why is because they have a kid that doesn't attend Reed's Puffer. So once you do that, you know, WGI rules, you have to go to independent. So yeah, they're cute. They're young. There's only 11 of them, but they fought hard to, you know, get to where they are right now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start it, and then Michael, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. So just sort of motion when you want me to stop, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're seeing. But everybody, we're back on the floor. We're seeing live performances. Yay! So anyway, here we go. Let's watch a little bit of this.
It's a wonderful, traversing tears from the heavens. My heart is a melodrama effect. Set alight by echoes of pain, 24/7, 24/7. I dream, I smile, I walk, I cry, I dream.
Okay. They're still learning to get their nuances and breath in their movement, which is something I told the director like a month ago. But they're young. They're still figuring out what that is for them. But I was happy for them that they had a successful weekend at the Indy Regional.
So, Michael, you designed this show, yes?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the choice you made. There's a table, and there's 2 stripes of, was it pink?
Red.
Okay, so it's hard to tell in the video.
Red.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Like, as a designer, where did that idea come from? And obviously, we saw you start on that first stripe and use the table. So let's talk about how your process of deciding to do that.
The floor design actually came from the album cover, or CD cover, or the cover of the album, the cover art from the album. And I just wanted to create like something that was very stark and obvious. And I just like the idea of using a table as a common thing to come back to. And they obviously toward the end of the show, we come back to it. And there's a couple times there's always someone there sitting at it and doing, just cool gestures and, things that just are more human aspects of movement. Cause, if anybody knows me, I enjoy pure movement, and not that I can't do other stuff or, whatever that is. I just like stuff that, that more or less tells a story. And there's not really a story to tell in this show. But I felt with a small color guard, if we really divide up the floor and make certain stages with it, it's easier to kind of like, you're not just on the floor the entire time and it has no, depth to it.
All right, Paul, you have any comments about this? It's early season, obviously, but I thought it was impressive.
I think two things. Well, first of all, I love Michael James' design. Being in it and seeing it every time, it's always so refreshing. I always tell new designers whenever they ask me about stuff, I'm like, go watch a Michael James show, because he's really good at layering and making sure that groups are always in focus and out of focus, and that there's always something going on. And then second comment about just the shows in general. This is the third time I've heard Benjamin Clementine this season. So I think Benjamin Clementine, guys, go listen to his music.
It's really good.
And you need to see him just play the piano, and it's gorgeous. So take a listen to him.
Because, Michael, what can you tell us about the life of someone who does what you're doing? Like you've been successful for a really long time, and now you're really in demand. Like, how do you decide who gets you get to work with them? How do you decide where you're going to travel when? Like, can you tell us a little bit about that life?
It's hard because I know sometimes I feel like a lot of people think I just say yes to everybody, and I really want to try to help everybody as much as I can, and I appreciate everyone contacting me and wants me to work with their teams. I just have to sometimes really focus on, okay, I can't design for everybody. Also, I have to make sure that the program that I'm going into is set up so that I know that my product will be nourished while I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, sometimes people want to dangle a really big check in front of you, but if it's not being taken care of when you're away from it, that's a big thing, right? So if the kids are going to be trained properly, or they're going to be able to achieve and, make sure they're getting your vision on the floor and while you're not there, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of like, it's hard sometimes because I want to try to help everybody, but sometimes it's just a scheduling thing. I can't be in, 4 places at the same time. I think Mike Gaines even told me this. We were talking this was late last year, and he was down here for something, and he's like, I felt like I said yes to a lot of people after 2020 because he didn't know what was going to happen. So, so I was still kind of like, I got contacted last night by someone. They wanted me to come in because their group got promoted twice so far this year. And I'm just like, maybe next year, we can talk about it, but I'm booked.
You're only one man. You're only one man. Paul, before we let Michael go, I know he's important to you. Anything you want to say to him or about him?
Again, thank you, Michael James, and for spreading your talent and for still being in activity and showing people what it really takes to really put out a good show. So thank you.
I can't wait to see you. Well, I won't see you this weekend, but I'll definitely see you you'll be at the Tampa Regional, obviously.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I will see you there. Good luck.
All
Break
right,
a leg.
see you there. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, I love it. So, Michael, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being our guest. Everybody, let's give Michael a big hand. You're wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being a guest today. We love having these big time celebrities, everybody.
Oh,
right. God. That's how important we are. Michael, you're awesome. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, but next thing we're going to do, everybody, is we have another wonderful clip from Jackie Brown of Spintronix. We have a clip every week, and we're going to watch that one now.
Enthusiast Jackie Brown here, Director of Spintronix Color Guard and Education Director at GuardCloset.com. I'm here today with another secret from the Guard Closet. Now that we're back to in-person competitions, you're probably getting a lot of interest in new people who want to join your color guard. But how on earth do you train them all? How do you get them to know the basics when they're coming in to join your team? Here's the secret. Send them videos. You can send them videos of the technique that you guys use on your team, and they can learn how to do those videos at home. Now, who has time to create a whole bunch of videos of your technique? Well, luckily I've already done it for you, so you can send them my videos. Feel free, that's what they're there for. If you would like to use a proven method of teaching beginners how to spin a flag, go to marchingartseducation.com and you can register for my course, Flag Spinning for Beginners and Beginning Instructors. It will absolutely help you organize the way that you teach rookies so that they can learn as efficiently as possible. Then, when you all get together in rehearsal, they already know what they're doing, and all you have to do is make sure that the technique matches. It is such a time saver whenever you have a limited amount of time to practice with the team. I can't wait to see you guys at the next competition.
All right. Thank you, Jackie Brown from Spintronix. And she's absolutely right. I mean, here's the thing. Paul, you and I believe I get contacted from people all over everywhere, which I love when they contact me. And I had somebody that contacted me the other day said, I'm a 52-year-old man. I've just moved to such and such part of the country, and I want to learn how to spin. What do I do? And I'm like, okay. But you know what they do is first off, you have them sign up for Jackie's course because it says, here's how you start. Here's the first thing you need to know. Here's the next thing you need to know. And she's showing you how to do it. And then, of course, there are community color guards and pride color guards and all kinds of things around that you can be a part of.
Yes, there's always opportunities out there. I feel like now with social media and YouTube, it's so easy for younger students and for anybody of any age to pick up color guard. And we always try to say like color guard is for everybody. You know, it's you don't have to know anything. We can teach you everything from very bottom, but then mastering color guard is where all the fun can happen because there's so many different styles and so many things that you can learn. So
so if you're watching this live, everybody, you're awesome. Comment, let us know if you have questions for our guests and where you're watching from. We really appreciate it. And now it's time for our next big celebrity guest. Drum roll, everybody. Here comes Cindy Berry, LeanderMomma. Cindy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm great. So I think a lot of people may know who you are from your social media world, but introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Cindy. Most people know me as LeanderMomma. That kind of happened by accident. My youngest was a member of the Leander band. And when she graduated, I decided I wasn't done. So I kind of took to Instagram and, of course, was on TexasBands.com and a big presence there. And I don't know, my channel just kind of grew. I just love watching the marching bands and the winter guards, and I don't see myself quitting anytime soon.
Well, thank you for being here. We love meeting fans that are out there, and you have such a great presence, and you're excited about all the different shows. So we have some clips from some shows that you really like. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, I think we were going to start with Johnson. And, of course, they're not to be confused with Claudia Taylor Johnson, although they are in a similar part of Texas. They are actually in Buda. That's not Buda, as people outside of Texas like to call it, but Buda, Texas. And it's a school that's only been around since 2019. In fact, this is their first year to have a senior class. And they have won every competition in their division so far. I think there's been 3. And they have already moved up to the open class. And since this is their 3rd year in existence, that's pretty impressive. And I know David Duffy, I think, is their director, and he's doing amazing things with their program, and they're just so fun to watch.
Okay, awesome. So do you tell me what they look like? Because I have 3 videos in front of me and I don't know which one is them. Do you remember what their floor look like?
It should be like a giant earth or globe that they're all standing on.
All right, here we go. We're going to watch a little bit of this, everybody. Here's Johnson High School. All right, so who doesn't love an indie flag feature moment? Wow.
Absolutely.
Cindy, why'd you choose this clip?
Well, their show's just so exciting to watch. And like you said, who doesn't love an amazing flag feature? Those are my favorite. Of course, sabers and rifles they take more expertise. But for me, the flag features are always the most exciting parts of a show. And I really thought this one from Johnson was a great one, especially because they're so young.
Yeah, Paul, they don't look young, but they've got some great training going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, seeing open class, going from A to open class is so interesting because it's fun to see a group grow and showcase even more skills than they did in A class. But yeah, seeing that group and seeing that flag feature, great opening statement or great closing statement in this case, I think, and seeing it all lock in. Obviously, we'll get cleaner as the season goes on, but that's always exciting about Winter Guard season.
Absolutely. So Cindy, you also chose, is it Capel? Am I saying that right?
Yes. That one, oh my goodness, that one is so fun. Like from the first note, it just captures you. And it's at first I thought, is this show about Barbies? But it's actually called Toy, and all the girls and guys are dressed up as like different toys, and the music is awesome. And this show is so exciting. It really makes you want to run out there and jump on the floor and start dancing with them. And from start to finish, it's just so exciting, and they're doing amazing.
All right. Well, thanks everybody that's watching this. This is Marching Arts Now. We are talking to Cindy, who is LeanderMomma, and Paul, of course, Simondac from Pegasus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we're talking about shows. And so let's watch a little bit of this Capel show. This is going to be really, really fun. And if you're dancing while you're watching this at home, we're not going to judge. Go for it. Here we go. Hey, I'm not your toy, everybody. I'm not your toy. I love it. That's really fun. Cindy, I love like the big jacks and stuff. Like they're totally doll sized.
It's just an awesome show. They have everything. They have rifles and sabers that you didn't get to see that do amazing work. And then the flag feature and the dance and the props are perfect. It's just absolutely a fun show. Anybody would like that show. It's not one that's just geared for a certain type of audience. Little kids would like it. Dads would like it. It's just a fun show.
I love it. Paul, what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, it's such a breath of fresh air seeing different shows that aren't just about, like the classic love story or this, but, really going outside of, I guess, the toy box in this case, and just doing whatever you want to do on the floor and just really showcasing talent, but in a different way. So seeing a show like that is so refreshing to see after, being in color guard for so many years.
Paul, did you just say think outside the toy box?
Yeah.
He is on it, everybody. He is on it. We are talking about shows with LeanderMomma, which is Cindy. So Cindy, the third one, Earl Warren. Tell us about this show.
This is another fun one. And Earl Warren is from San Antonio, and sometimes they get overshadowed by the Ronald Reagans and the CTJs down there. And but I always enjoy their shows, and this one is particularly fun. It's sort of a Cruella de Vil show. I think it's called House of de Vil. And I mean, they are in full Cruella attire, and it's just another really fun show. And they're doing a great job this year as well.
Okay, everybody, let's watch some Cruellas. Let's see what they're doing at Earl Warren. Here we go. That was cool, man. Who doesn't want to wear that Cruella wig? Like, I would just everybody wants to wear that.
Well, I told Jeremy I was going to get one of those and put it on when I talked about that show, but I decided that was probably not the best idea.
Oh, you totally should have. It's fantastic. Paul, what did you think?
Oh my gosh, I was thinking of the movie. I think that's what's probably inspired it, because that's a recent movie. But I mean, clean weapons, seeing weapons on the floor, and those props and the design of the floor, it looks so cool. So I wish I could see that in person, like really see all that pop of red color in person.
Yeah, really, really fun show. So, Cindy, what do you want to say? You're here sort of representing the fan in the stand. What are you feeling about now that, guard's back on the floor?
Well, we did have the year off, and there was that amazing virtual a competition last year, which I was really kind of astonished how some groups really stepped it up during COVID when a lot of those kids weren't even in school, and they still gave amazing performances last year. But still, I wondered this year if they would be able to be up at the same level that we were back before COVID. And I tell you what, guess those kids are tossing in their sleep, because I've just really been impressed this year already at the quality of the guards.
Yeah, it's very cool. That's what we were talking about. That this is fall. I was doing all these broadcasts of Box 5 TV of the Bands of America stuff, and we were like, "What's everybody going to be on?" Nobody knew, and then they all came out stronger than ever. Like everybody's hungry, they're ready, they're excited. Paul, like we're seeing really high levels of performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you have nothing else to do, I mean, practicing color guard was right for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go outside because I can't stay in this room forever. So I think it's just really nice and refreshing to see everybody come back.
Well, Cindy, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being here to talk with us. Any final thoughts you want to leave anybody with?
No, just keep at it, you guys. I've just seen more and more guards that I've never heard of before doing amazing jobs this year. So just because people aren't talking about you yet doesn't mean they won't be. So just keep up the good work and just never give up.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Cindy. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great to have you here as a guest. Paul, I love that we were talking about that these shows can be fun. Like you said, a breath of fresh air. I just did a webinar the other day with Jara Clark from Jinx with Kagan Lambert also. And she was talking about that very thing. Like she starts with middle school. Everybody can find this webinar conversation at Marching Arts Education. She talked about starting a middle school winter guard as a way to build her program. It's really, it's a really important thing. But she talked about how you don't want to teach them that, you don't have that dramatic, sad, romantic show when you have young kids. And I would say, when I say these guard shows, sometimes it can get a little heavy. She called it the longing eyebrows.
Yeah, it's this.
Teaching look at that. See, of course, Paul's a master of the longing eyebrow. I should have known that was going to be the case. But anyway, I get a little tired of longing eyebrows, and sometimes I want like toys that are, spinning and being Barbies and stuff. I think it's super fun. So good for you, everybody, for making shows that are fun. All right. So anyway, we have one more thing before we're going to be done with this. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We are going to be talking about percussion next week because WGI Percussion is going. We have Laura, who's going to be with us from the Boston Crusaders and also from Westchester University. She's going to be here to talk about that. So we have a short clip from her. So let's hear from Laura.
Hello, all of my fellow marching artists and educators. My name is Laura Sakazinski, and I'm so excited to be joining you on this podcast to give you an inside scoop on the 2022 WGI percussion season. A little bit about myself. I'm a recent graduate at Westchester University, which is just outside of Philadelphia, where I studied music education on clarinet. Despite primarily being a clarinetist throughout my musical career, I have also been involved in front ensembles in the marching arts. This all started way back in middle school, where I joined my school's program and continued throughout high school. I got my first taste of the independent world in 2018 with Imperial Dynasty, and then moved on to join other WGI groups and drum corps. This includes the Reading Buccaneers in 2019, the Boston Crusaders in 2021, I marched 3 seasons at Westchester University's marching band, and I have been with United Percussion since 2020, which is where I'm currently marching for the 2022 season. United Percussion is an independent, world-class WGI percussion group. I think that this activity has just been so unique and so captivating for me, and it's given me an opportunity to develop my skills as a musician while also combining that high level of pageantry and performance. I am so excited to engage in meaningful conversations about the activity and to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what goes on in a world-class WGI percussion ensemble. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome. So Laura's going to be here next week to talk about percussion, and it's going to be super fun. So we're going to be alternating percussion week, color guard week. Anyway, there's so much going on. Paul, the activity is back.
Yeah, it's nice seeing. I mean, just again, having everybody back, it's so cool. And percussion, especially because I know, Winter Guard is usually the primary focus for the winter season, but having a percussion group for a marching band or for a program is also really, really cool to have. So it's nice to see that flourish as well.
You're absolutely right. And I have to tell you, there are some people out there that are drummers that would say, what is this thing about the guard being the primary focus? What's he talking about? So anyway, I guess it all depends on where you're coming from, but I totally understand what you're saying. Color Guard came first in the Winter Guard world, and now there's indoor drumline. Great things are happening this season. So Laura and some other guests are going to be here next week to talk about that. We're also going to have some WGI travel videos where some groups that are on the road or going to Dayton and all are going to be sharing their stories and telling us all about it. So Paul, what do you want to say before we close? You're back on the floor. How's it feel?
I mean, it feels great. Again, I feel like just being back with everybody on the floor is just so refreshing. And it's nice that, I was there teaching on the side, just like giving some extra tips since I know the show and I only want the group to be better. So being sort of like pseudo staff a little bit was nice, but being back on the floor and just being in the show is completely different, right? And I just got to get my stamina back, and it's going to be an exciting season.
Well, we are all excited to be watching you out there on the floor, whether everybody you're watching virtually or you're going to be there in person. We'll all be fanboying over Paul and everybody, and we're all fans right now of everybody that's out on the floor. Remember that no matter what group you see, you don't know what they've been through, you don't know what their last 2 years have been, but if they are brave enough to put a show together and get out on the floor, they deserve our applause and our praise. And we're not going to be judgy, and we're not going to be snarky. No snarky. It's like we're for everybody, right? So let's remember that. So excited about this. Hey, if you've enjoyed watching this, tell somebody about it. We have a live show on Tuesdays pretty much every week, and then we have the edited version that goes out into the world that is on our Marching Roundtable YouTube channel every Thursday. So watch for this stuff happening all season. Paul, you're awesome. Thank you again to Cindy and Michael James. That's such a fun episode, everybody. It was so much fun. Paul, can't wait for next week.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. If you like this, let everybody know it's here. We're having fun doing it. See you later.
Marching Arts Education and Guard Closet present Marching Arts Now.